Assalamu alaikum, guys. Welcome to Freshly Grounded. Today, our episode is with Brother SQ, and he's with me for the intro.
Yep, SQ here.
SQ has come all the way down from the United States, and we're going to discuss in a second what we spoke about in podcast. But first, this podcast has been kindly brought to you by Muslim Box. Guys, Muslim Box Company is a contemporary Muslim brand offering quality gift boxes designed specifically for the Muslim in mind, whatever the occasion. The Prophet ﷺ said, "Give gifts and you will love one another." Make someone smile today with a gift from Muslim Box Company. Go to www.muslimbox.co. Type in the word Freshly Grounded and you get 20% off. And I told you earlier, SQ, I said they normally only give 10%. And I said, bro, this is for F.G. I said, this is for Freshly Grounded. You just give me more. He's giving my gifts more. Eid is coming up, guys. Get your gifts. Type in Freshly Grounded. And I got some of the stuff. If you're watching on the YouTube, we got some of the stuff with us. I got the watch, which is the Arabic numeral watch, which I love. I wanted to watch that for so long. So, alhamdulillah. And then we got the Sunnah box, which also has... In the actual video, we go through it. We actually go through the Sunnah box and what's involved in the Sunnah box. But the Sunnah box is probably their best seller, I'm assuming, because I can't take your phone now. But it's probably the best seller. But it's a box. Yeah, might as well take it off.
Can I see the watch, by the way?
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? It's a box where basically, Jazakallah khair, you have. You got miswak holder, you got misworks, you got beard combs, you got perfume, you got black seed oil, you got beard balm. The beard balm, SQ actually tried it on the podcast.
I'm wearing it right now.
He's wearing it. He tried the black seed oil. How did the black seed oil taste?
We'll talk about that.
He was coughing a bit. But guys, please do check them out. Please. Guys, please do check them out. That's muslimbox.co. Tap in the code Freshly Grounded to get 20% off. Honestly, this company, this is just me speaking from the heart now, yeah? There's so many copycat companies that exist. These Muslim gifting companies, and I'm not all of them are copycat companies. There are some easy ones, but there's a lot that copycat this exact concept, this idea of this little Sunnah box that has a miswork, a brush, and Muslim. From what I know, the Sunnah box by Muslim Box Company has been the one from day. These guys are a gifting company, so whether sisters you want to buy it for your brothers, your husbands, for Eid, or brothers you want to buy it for yourselves,
it's a must.
Yeah, you have to. It's a must. This podcast is also brought to you by 59. That's 50_NINE on Instagram. 59. Have you had a chance to go there, SQ?
No, what's that about?
It's a cafe. It's a wellness cafe. Yeah, it's freshly squeezed juicy. It's vegetarian or vegan breakfast, lunch, dinner, and it's actually owned by Sam, the other guy who does this podcast.
Oh, no way. MashaAllah.
Bro, if you go there, bro.
Where is it?
It's in Hertfordshire.
Oh, like I know where that is.
Yeah.
Oh, Hertfordshire. Oh, exactly. I know where that is.
If you go there, bro, you get £1 off.
Oh.
If you call Freshly Grounded.
Oh, if I say F. sent me.
Yeah, but that might sound like what? £1. But bro, if you get a shot of coffee, how much is that going to cost you when you get £1 off? You're paying basically nothing. £1 less, bro. So go to 59 and say Freshly Grounded to give £1. Also brought to you by Zaha. That's IZAHA.com for some fresh Arabic caps.
Oh, yeah?
Zaha.
What's
what
that?
I'm wearing.
Is that what you're wearing?
Yeah.
Word.
IZAHA.com.
Or is that £1 off as well for me?
Whoa, you get 20% off if you tap in Freshly Grounded.
Yeah.
That's Zaha.com. 20% off. And lastly, brought to you by Feed Source. Feed Source is always easy because I have a nice script for myself. This podcast is brought to you by FeedSource. FeedSource provides custom Instagram photos of your product on demand. This is a company that my brother owns and runs from these very offices and has made life easier, cheaper, and much more efficient for hundreds of brands. Our team have created content for the likes of Hilton, Dell, and Deliveroo, as well as many other startups and small businesses who are just looking to get high quality images of their products. FeedSource is designed to be super simple to use. If I may say so myself. All you do is visit FeedSource.com and explore our different styles of images to find one that matches your brand. You then choose how many images you'd like to be created, and if you're in the UK, you can have the products collected the next working day completely free. Your images are then created and delivered to you through your online brand panel within 7 days. Prices start from as low as £129 for 9 custom images. We don't use stock imagery or any kind of template. It really is 100% bespoke images for your product. You can get 25% off your first order if you use FG25.
F. sent you.
Just go to feedsource.com to place your order. That's FEEDSAUCE.com. FeedSource. Hey, why don't you read this, SQ, in your best advertising voice? Just this line.
FeedSauce, high quality custom Instagram photos on your products on demand. Remember, use code
FG25.
FG25. Tell them F. sent you. Check out, get 25% off your first order.
Woo!
S.
What did we talk about in this episode?
A lot of stuff, man. We talk about this is a thing I think a lot of my community members wanted to know, and anyone else who was interested about how I turned to Islam. And that's an exclusive, by the way. F. Dot got the exclusive on me.
That was an exclusive. We exclusively discussed how SQ came to Islam, how he found Islam. That was the bulk of this podcast. We then went into a few different things. He spoke about the incident that went viral when you got kicked out of mosque for having tattoos.
Yeah.
And a few other things, but the main kind of bulk of this podcast was talking about SQ's story. It's an amazing podcast, a lot of good messages for the youth, subhanAllah. So I know you guys will enjoy it, inshallah. This was Freshly Grounded. Let's get into it.
And welcome to Freshly Grounded, the brand new podcast by best friends Faisal and Sam.
Huh?
I said welcome to Freshly Grounded,
After that bit.
the brand new podcast
And after that bit?
by best friends Faisal and Sam.
Really?
Okay. We are live and we are joined by none other than SQ from the United States of America.
You were here. Thank you, Faisal, for flying me out. I appreciate it. That first class.
That did not happen. That did not happen.
Yes, he does. So if he has never flown you out before, he don't love you.
I'm gonna have a lot of angry.
I took a shower in the Emirates flight. I had my own little pod.
I'm gonna have a lot of angry people.
Yeah, no, he flew me in. He didn't fly me in, obviously.
No, but you still came down. You messaged me as soon as you knew you were coming to the UK. You said, "Look, let's make this thing happen." We've been trying to make this happen for a long time. How long have we been in connection with each other?
Yo, you know what it is? I think I've been trying to hit you up for a long time, but because I was a nobody, and Faisal's funny like that. So you know what it is? The only time, and this is the important thing. And this is advice for anyone out there. This is advice for anyone out there who's trying to get quote unquote the attention of important people.
I'm not important.
No. You're very important, actually. So extremely important people, okay? So like what you gotta do, and this is not a strategy. This is not like insincere. You gotta bring someone obviously value, but you gotta be nice to them. You're like, for example, you gotta say something that brings them value and that makes them feel good. I remember something about your mom. I think she was in the hospital, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, maybe.
For surgery or something like that. Maybe he doesn't even remember.
Yeah,
no. And I think I left a comment because someone said something negative about you, and think about this just from the perspective of yourself, that you get so many comments.
I think they said something like you can't pray in shoes or something.
Yeah, he said something crazy like that, and I'm just like, yo, you're forgetting about the bigger message behind him. His mom's there. Make a dua for him. Do something. But like that, and that comment stuck out like a sore thumb because the original comment stuck out like a sore thumb. So if anyone's out there, if you see a hate message, try to defend the person. I think that would be helpful. Only if it's sincere, not if you're trying to like get their attention. And I think I DM'd you after that, or I had DM'd you before, and you responded to my DM then. So
really?
It's all a part of my 5-year plan strategy, and you were in it. So we made that happen.
What? So how, really? So we connected with you, messaged me?
Yeah.
I thought maybe I messaged you.
Yeah, no, you didn't. I remember everything. You know what it is, man? Because I'm so new to this entire thing.
But you've grown quick, bro. You're on 40K.
Yeah, but I think, you know what? I don't want to overvalue that, right? Because, at the end of the day, like, what does 40K mean? Well, my YouTube is barely at 3,000, right? Like, I don't want to overvalue things. I think that my goal and your goal and everyone's goal should be, maybe everyone has different goals, but I just want to help as many people as possible. If that's 40K, cool. If that's 1 million, cool.
But weren't you at 20K like last week?
Nah, you know what? The growth, alhamdulillah, the growth has been significant. I think it's most part because, I'm delivering content that people want to hear.
Also, can I just say that one thing that you do, which is great, and it's not luck. It's because of the effort you put into your content, by the way. Is that a lot of your content goes viral on Instagram, and the reason is, bro, because you take that extra, you go that extra inch of just adding them subtitles or cutting the video a tiny bit more, and those things make the biggest difference. Because you know that quote in the movie that says, "Life is a game of inches."
No, I don't know about that actually. That's actually really nice.
It's I've not seen the movie, but I've seen the scene where Al Pacino is basically saying to this team of football players that he's coaching, and he basically gives them a speech. He's like, life is a game of inches. And bro, that quote's big, right? Bro, man.
Life's a game of inches. It's funny because I just put out, and the best part about this is this, right? Before, I would try to create a viral content or create something that I know is going to be a hit, and then when it doesn't, I'm like, oh, you smile like you're disappointed. The shaitan messes with you and the attention, right? The intention needs to be to help people out. I'm not trying to hit that home run. And I know that's a baseball term. That was my latest message about. People want to hit home runs out the park and then just watch that grow. Some of my videos that went quote unquote viral, which is not really viral at all, but whatever. Bro, those were shot on an iPhone. You get me? Shot on an iPhone, and the story was good, and I didn't even expect it to be good. I just uploaded for the sake of uploading, and I'm ready to do another one. I'm never banking on one thing going viral and then just riding that wave. Oh, alhamdulillah, it's doing well. It's getting a lot of love, a lot of impressions. Cool, I'm already uploading something new for you, because if you want that, whatever.
Okay.
It's not about hitting the home runs. It's about those inches.
Yeah, and but the content is the kind of content that goes well, because you have content that, for example, you have a video of you praying in front of the White House.
Yeah.
And then what happened in that video? You just prayed, and did someone come up to you?
Yeah. So it's funny, right? That was a school trip. I'm actually a teacher by profession. For those of you who follow me, you know that, because it's summer holidays. You don't see a lot of my stories about that. But usually my stories about me teaching and all that. But one of my students took that photo for me. It was definitely like a quote unquote stage, but I wanted to make an impression because, the White House is obviously significant with Trump and all that sort of nonsense happening over there. And it's so funny because a lot of Muslims do protests over there. So like when something happens in Palestine, there's a protest, and Washington D.C. gets flooded with Muslims. And you always need to ask yourself, what makes you unique? If you look at someone like Gandhi, I'm sorry, Martin Luther King. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Martin Luther King Jr. here.
Yeah, I mean, of course.
You don't know, of
course,
him.
bro.
No, but like I'm saying, we have a day celebrating him.
Right,
you get me? So
right.
you might know of him. We know of him.
Yeah.
So basically, one thing that he did really interesting was he did this march, right, from all the way from Alabama, which he was, to like really, really far. And he basically started with a few hundred people maybe. And when the buzz got around it, right, everyone just started joining him. Now imagine in today's society with social media, imagine what that would have been like crazier, right? He was marching against the civil rights and like how blacks were not being treated, or people of color were not being treated equally. Okay. He learned that and that was such an innovative idea. Anyone could just sit down and just pick up like signs. Anyone could do that. Like, that's actually a protest, but that's not a creative protest. He learned that from his idol, who was Gandhi. Gandhi did something called the Salt March, okay, where he started in a specific place, a city in India. And shout out to India. They have a crazy flood happening in Kerala, by the way, right now. And people are dying and houses are being destroyed. Okay, it's crazy. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless them. But, he started from a specific place because the British, shout out to the British here, they were controlling people, and they wanted to control the salt of the Indians.
Oh no, I just whooped that.
Huh?
You said British, I was like whoop whoop, and then you said something bad. So I just whoop whoop, a bad thing.
No, but they try to control that. So Gandhi didn't want to hold that. So the protest was a peaceful protest, okay? So he takes a bunch of hundreds of people and they gather. They get this buzz and they go all the way to the beach or the ocean or whatever, and they collect the natural salts, because you can't stop that natural resource. Okay. In the biography or the biography of Gandhi, he accredits one of his heroes is the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, right? And something interesting that even the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam did was they did peaceful protests all the time. He would go in front of the Kaaba and pray. What am I doing wrong? I'm praying in front of this house. You want to pray like that? I want to pray like this. Then we know people were throwing intestines on him and all this other nasty stuff. That was a peaceful protest. That you got to ask yourself, what creates buzz, right? You doing you, but what creates buzz? And how does it make someone feel? People felt angry. They wanted to throw a rock on him. And we know that, his uncle wanted to kill him. But then he saw a camel and all this other stuff happening. Like, we know the stories. So when Muslims go and we gather by the thousands in DC, as travelers, we're forgetting our prayers. We're forgetting all these things. We're forgetting all the things that make us Muslim. The prayers are identity, akhi. Like, that's our pillar. That's literally, a pillar is what keeps something up. Prayer is that pillar. You're forgetting prayer. Imagine thousands of Muslims in front of the Washington D.C., in front of the highest, hijabis, Muslim dudes, kufis, this and all that. All right, cool. That's a nice scene. Might make the news, might not make the news. But imagine thousands of people in sujood at the same time. That's viral. In Times Square, there's these protests for Palestine or whatever. Yeah, and they're chanting, free, free Palestine. I'm about that. Yes, free Palestine. But you have that platform. In New York City, Times Square, akhi, I'm not even playing. The roads are shut down. Imagine the adhan being roared across Times Square. Imagine that. Imagine what that would do. Imagine the dawah that would create. Imagine the buzz that would create. And then everyone goes into sujood together. Bro, that is just dreams. That's a vision, man. That would make news. That would be on people's social media. That would be on people's Facebook being shared. But when you step away from your identity and you try to sell out and try to do things that, you want people to see, bro, you're no different. What made Gandhi different, what made Martin Luther King different is because they did something unique. For us to do that peaceful protest, and that was behind that picture, I wanted to put my sujood right there. And it was, it was just a sujood. It was just out of gratitude and to show that we're here. We're Muslims, And that's what that was about. And it was unique. And that's what I wanted. I wanted to do something unique. So I encourage the Muslims to be unique, be themselves, and that's a Muslim, I guess.
So talk to me a bit, if we bring it back a bit, talk to me about your story. So especially as someone who's not aware of your journey, how did your journey start? At what point did you start becoming a practicing Muslim, and then at what point did you decide, I'm going to jump on social media and try and also inspire the youth to also become a practicing?
That's a really good question, bro. And by the way, for those of you who don't know Faisal, right, like one of my first impressions of him were two things. One, he smelled really, really good. I think that you need to hold him for a higher standard now. So if you ever see Faisal, make sure he's smelling good. I think that's the part of it is, right? And you're way more handsome in person than I'd expect, right?
Really?
Yeah, way more better looking in person, And my man Nate over there in the back, Brolic over there, doing CrossFit. I don't know what he does. He's not brolic.
You should see his calves, bro.
Yeah.
His calves. Bro, I'm not joking. In the heat, when it was summer, bro, we'd have guests coming freshly grounded, and then they would look and they go, how are Nate's calves so big? But he plays football, soccer. He plays football semi-pro.
Semi-pro?
Yeah, might as well call it that.
Yeah.
Might as well. Yeah, he plays.
Mashallah. No, that's good. Mashallah, you're supposed to be fit,
So what's your journey, bro?
Okay, so it all actually started, and this is where I really feel like a lot of people don't understand their circumstances. Like a lot of times people feel like negative things are happening in their lives, but they're really positives if you be patient with what's happening over here. My journey was very negative in the sense that I had no identity whatsoever, bro. Like I came to New York on September 10th, 2001, hours before 9/11. Okay.
No way.
Yeah, bro. I didn't even know what the Twin Towers were. I didn't know. I was a kid. I was like 12. And I had to start middle school, which is year 8. And I'm this like Bendu looking kid, bro, because I'm from, I was born in the States, but I was living in Pakistan for some time because I'm Pakistani. I was living there for about 2-3 years. So like I developed obviously some of their swagger, you want to call that, their accent a little. So I come to 8th grade and I don't fit in. I don't look the same. I dress different. Everything about me is different. And bro, I stick out like a sore thumb and I look proper Pakistani, like a little Pakistani kid. I basically look like the Pakistani Harry Potter. I had these glasses. It was crazy. And bro, people just throwing questions left, right, and center. Yo, where's your uncle? Where's Bin Laden at? Where's the Taliban? Yo, what do you know about this? Literally, first day of school, I remember one of my teachers asked me a question. My teacher asked me a question. So, what can you tell us about the Taliban? I'm like, yo, what is that? I don't know what that is, Like, no way. And my aspirations were the same as any other youngster. You see, people think that humans are different. The same, like human beings want the same thing, and that's importance. I wanted to feel important, and my importance did not want to reside with what happened with that nonsense. And at that age, 12 years old, 13 years old, I wanted popularity as much as anyone else does. And people do different things to gain that popularity. Some people become gamers because that gives them popularity, because it gives them importance. My thing was like, I wanted girls. I just wanted girls. I just love girls. I just wanted girls. I wanted attention. I wanted to have a girlfriend. I wanted that, that vibe. And if a chick out of any possible way became interested in me, one of the questions they'd ask you, where you're from. As soon as by the time I'm like Pakistan, by the Istan is about to happen, they're gone, bro. They fly out the window. And I started relating, I developed a negative correlation and association with the word Pakistan and everything that followed with it. I didn't have a Pakistani friend. I didn't speak the language. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to watch a Bollywood movie. anything that was associated with Pakistan, I wanted nothing to do with it. And unfortunately, Islam for me was associated with Pakistan as well. So as the years progressed, I got into high school, college, as some, you might know it as, and I'm getting older. I started dressing in a different way, and my haircut started going in a specific way, and I started looking a different way, talking, everything, acting, behaving in a way, because I wanted to go away from that Pakistani identity, and I wanted to be as Spanish as possible. So even now, people think I'm Spanish, and I'm like, I'm not even trying to hide anything. Like, if anyone asks me I'm Pakistani, it doesn't bother me. But I try to have people guess, because guesses are crazy. I don't really come off as a standard looking Pakistani. Neither do you, by the way. I think, Nate, you're Pakistani, right?
Far from it.
But I didn't want anything to do with that. My best friends was Dominican, Puerto Rican. I wanted nothing
Nate's
to
Dominican.
do with that. Huh?
Nate's Dominican.
No way.
Dominican, not Dominican Republic though.
Oh. Shows how much you know about Nate.
Yeah.
Sorry, Nate.
We're gonna edit
Doing
that.
a great job,
yeah.
man.
Best friends over here, Oh, okay.
That place, Nate's from there.
Yeah, and I was about.
It begins with a D. Yeah, that's where Nate's from.
Yeah.
Detroit, that's where Nate's from.
Yeah, he's there. I was about to bust some Spanish on you too. Because, most of my population over there, my students and everything, my neighborhood, Spanish, Black, Jamaican, just it's very, very, it's a melting pot, bro.
Yeah.
It's really, really melting pot. So, anyways,
just to kind of round up so far in the story, you've now decided to disassociate yourself with Pakistani, anything to do with Pakistan, because of obviously the negative connotations that you've derived from them, because of obviously the 9/11 bombings, and you're getting interrogated yourself in school, and you're a young child, and you think to yourself, wow, when I'm a Pakistani, no one likes me, everyone's hating on me, I don't like these feelings, this is negative, so I'm going to disassociate myself with Pakistan. And so you put on a persona of being Mexican, Spanish.
Not Mexican, I wouldn't want to be Mexican.
Spanish.
I love Mexico, shout out to Mexico, they had a great Spanish, and whether that's Mexican or not, it doesn't make a difference. Shout out to Mexico, they had a great World Cup run, by the way. But the thing is, bro, mashallah, you're actually a really good listener. Another thing I'm learning about, you're a really good listener. That was a good summary, mashallah. Allah Mubarak. But I basically that, right? And everything that came with Pakistan. So, what happens actually in that, you develop an identity crisis because you don't know who you are.
Right.
You're trying to be someone you're not.
Did your parents notice this change in you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. My mom was just noting this, and they'd bust the Asian lingo and just say what's going on with you. They thought that the solution might be sending you to Pakistan. They just think, I need to send you to the masjid and all that sort of stuff. And they didn't understand what I was going through.
Well, something that really reminds me of something that Hamza Zortis was just saying on the podcast that I just shot before yours, which is actually going to be out next week. So time-wise, it's a bit weird. But what he did say is that... what were you just talking about?
I take back everything about being a good listener.
I was such a good listener, man. No, what did he say? He said, you were talking about...
identity crisis.
Yeah, sending you back to Pakistan.
Yeah, sending back as a solution.
Of course, yeah. Right, so what Hamza Zortis was basically saying, and I'm putting my legs up in this episode because I've never shot... this is probably one of the latest that we've shot an episode before. It's 4 p.m. We normally shoot them at 9 a.m. So you're going to hear more relaxed Faisal right now. But what he was saying, bro, is that... often as people, what we do is we try and when there's a problem, we don't find the solution of the cause. We try and cover up or find a solution to the the effect. So for example, the example that he gave was he was basically saying, look, bodybuilding, he has learned in his experience now that bodybuilding is not athletics, and it's not healthy, and it's all about building the ego. And I said, and by the way, never debate Hamza Zortis on anything because he will destroy you.
I would have never.
But I said I opposed it with my I put my big debating boots on, and I said, but when I was going in gym hard last year, I found that I was so much happier, so much confident. And he said, why is that? And I said, well, I guess I just felt like, when you put it on a t-shirt and you feel like it doesn't look right on you, this, that, the other. He said, all you're doing is that you're covering up the problem.
Nate doesn't have to worry about that.
Right,
Look
of course,
at him, right?
of course.
Looking like a model on the low right there. You know, you don't know our struggles are. Our Pakistani chawal struggles with the roti, and it goes straight to the belly. You don't know that.
and so basically, he said that's what we do as people. We don't look at the cause. We don't try and fix the cause. We just try and cover it. So even by saying, for example, your mom
so what's he saying the cause was? Like,
he said he doesn't know what the cause is, but because he's not specialized in that, but that's what you got to look at. But yeah, the cause in that was insecurity. So it's about looking in and fixing the insecurity, so that no matter how I look, I'm never going to be insecure about what people think about me. And so likewise, in your story, your mum at this point is saying to you, I should send him to Pakistan, I should send him to the mosque, and all that's doing is that's not looking at what is the actual problem though, because it's like
that's how they get the kids married too. It's that's like, one of the solutions too.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like something's going wrong. Let's try this. Something's going wrong. Let's try that. But it's like let's not for a second.
Like
let's
you're troubleshooting.
But
you haven't identified the problem.
It's troubleshooting. Exactly.
It's troubleshooting, but you haven't identified what the trouble is.
Yeah, exactly.
So check this out, right? And I'm gonna break it down with some math right now, some math terms. You know, we were talking about fractions off camera, right?
Yeah.
Because Faisal Masha was saying how he's not good at math, but I'm like, you'll be surprised, right? And I said something to him, and he broke down the percentage for me, and I was saying that you know fractions. If you know fractions, you understand math, right? So check this out, right? We're trying to fix the part, right? But we don't understand the problem is the whole. Okay, the problem is the whole, not the part. And a fraction is a relationship between the whole, the total, and the part of something. So let's suppose you go to the doctor, right? You have a cough, you have a cold, and all that sort of stuff. Is he going to tell you, Faisal, you have a cough and you have a cold? Like that's obvious. He's going to tell you have the flu.
Right.
Which is caused by a virus because your body's trying to fight it, blah, 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 right? What you and I have to understand is that we're always trying to fix the part, but the whole is broken. So if my mom is trying to send me to Pakistan, or, people out there, your parents are trying to get you married because they think that that's how you're going to mature up, they're only putting a Band-Aid on the scar, right? But they're not really treating the problem. You might need an injection. You might need a tetanus shot. You get me? And that's how things get infected. And infections show in human beings and diseases of the heart through, depression, anxiety, sadness, because your heart's infected because it hasn't been treated with the real cure, which is obviously the words of Allah, hands down.
Yeah, 100%.
And I didn't know that in my entire life that I kept on masking this persona of who thought I was, but I wasn't that guy, man. I wasn't. I was this dude, and I could never be myself because I was always afraid of, you might not like that person of me. You might not like that person of me. But it wasn't until I started finding out who I was that I'm like, I'm a really funny dude. I never knew that. I'm a really funny person. You might not find that out right now, but I felt like I was.
You are.
So like,
you just said that. I was like, no, you are. I'm just really into your story, man.
Yeah. But that's the thing, right? You never give yourself an opportunity to find who you are.
Right.
And me personally, right? And this is interesting because there's the father of identity, right? He basically deals with identity crisis and everything. His name is Banks. I don't know his first name. I just remember I've studied this in uni, and because I'm getting my master's right now. Alhamdulillah, something. So I'm always busy with school and stuff.
What are you doing your master's in? Psychology?
Yeah, no. Actually, I have. So I'm in my second master's. My first master's is in mathematics, teaching mathematics in secondary school, and my second master's is now, inshallah, in learning how to teach language, not a language, any language, how the human brain learns language, right? So, which is really interesting because one of the things that prevents a person from learning language is identity. If they can identify, there's certain people who go hard on the deen, and when they can identify themselves as a Muslim, they'll pick up the Quran, they'll learn certain things because they want to invest themselves in it. They're not shy about it. Like their first goal is, I want to learn Quran, I want to learn Arabic, which is a great thing. But one of the things that Banks says in his identity, there's like 6 stages. The first stage is like you thinking that your culture is the best. It's the best. It's superior than everyone's culture. Your culture is the best, which comes from supremacy, white supremacists, all that sort of stuff. People who are, I don't know, there's a term over here, national something, I don't know.
Nationalistic, I don't know.
Yeah, but there's someone over here, like, I don't know, like who believe that Britain's supposed to be white or something like that. Like,
like EDL and Britain's first.
Yeah, there we go, them, right? They're basically in the lowest form of cultural identity where they believe they are the best race. Like they are the best, most superior culture. All the other cultures are inferior. I don't want to get to know them. The second stage of that is when you start growing, is you start feeling that your culture is inferior to everyone else's culture. And I was in that second stage, which is I thought Nate was watering the plants.
The plants are fake. The plants are fake, unfortunately.
And the interesting part is like I was in that stage where I thought I felt inferior, and that's what interesting Hamza Zorsis is saying. Like there's an inferiority complex that you're feeling, and that's what you're not understanding personally. I was afraid of my culture because I felt inferior to it. Everything about Pakistan. Now I love Pakistan, bro. I can't wait to go back. Like I'm all about Pakistan. But moving on, fast forwarding from there.
Yeah.
I go on to university, and I basically break away from all those ties of how everyone knew me, and I just start indulging in just more haram, bro. Like I just basically go down this track of doing whatever I want to do. I wanted to break away from my parents. I felt like my mom was the most annoying person in the world, but I love my mom now. I thought that I wanted a dorm. I wanted to live on campus because I didn't want to live at home. So many of us are going to university right now. Wallahi, ask yourself, they want a dorm. They want to live on campus. Why? Oh, I want the experience. No, you want to run away from home.
Well, that's exactly why I went to uni.
That's
That's my story. Yeah, that's where I actually went as far as I could. I went to Wales and I studied out there, and I went to live far away with the intention of disobeying Allah.
Yeah.
And that is where Allah brought me back to His deen.
So, and that's awesome, because sometimes you got to be by yourself to figure out who you are.
No.
And that's a lot of times your self-realizations happen and become more self-aware because you're by yourself.
Right.
You have no distractions, right? Even though you're at some party, even though you're with some friends, but when it's all said and done, you're by yourself. And that's when self-realizations happen. But in this world that we're in, they just want you to blast some music so you never experience what that's like. You're afraid to be alone. You're afraid to go to the cinema alone. Not that I'm saying go to the cinema, but I'm saying, but you're afraid to go to the cinema alone. You're afraid to go to eat lunch by yourself because you don't want people to think you're lonely. Why not? Why can't you enjoy your own company? I love my company, bro. I enjoy my own company. Honestly, I love being with people, but my best thoughts come when I'm alone, when I'm walking to the masjid, when I'm always recording. For those of you who follow me, know what I'm doing. I'm always on the walk and I'm recording because that's when my juices are flowing, bro. Fast forward. I keep so basically I'm doing all this haram,
Okay,
all this
yeah.
Y and Z, right? And I'm smoking, drinking, doing all the inside stuff, women, all that sort of stuff, everything that I want to do.
Right.
But I'm always thinking, because I just wanted to be with as many women as possible because I had this ego in me that I wanted to be. Again, we were talking off camera that I'm a very competitive, addictive personality person, and when I do something,
I'm
I go
the same.
all in. Yeah, interesting.
I have a very addictive personality.
Yeah, bro. There was one point where I loved playing frisbee, and all I did was play frisbee. That's silly.
People say to me often, they say you're so addicted to coffee, you can't wake up.
Oh, you're a coffee person.
Well, I'm not addicted. I have to have loads of coffee cups a day, but I have to have my cup of coffee in the morning, for example, and I have to probably have another one throughout the day, and then I might maybe bang another one. But generally, it's the one in the morning that I have to have. And people say to me, "Oh, I can't believe you're so addicted." Which, by the way, if you speak to real coffee heads, that is not an addiction.
It's not. It's not, by the way. Yeah.
Well, I spoke to, like I said, we just had Hamza who had 5 shots
Brother
of coffee.
Yusha is addicted to coffee.
Well, Hamza, Brother Yusha actually has slowed himself down a lot because he used to get low anxiety because of it. It's like me. Because
caffeine.
Yeah, I get caffeine anxiety if I have that too much. But anyway, Brother Hamza actually had 5 shots of coffee before our episode, so he's a true coffee.
No way.
Yeah, 5 shots.
Like espresso?
5.
Bang.
I don't know how he did it because I didn't watch him. My point is this though, that when people say that to me, I say to them, I have such an addictive personality. If right now what I'm addicted to is something that's halal and it's just coffee and it's not actually that bad for me at all,
Alhamdulillah.
I am alhamdulillah. Do you know what I mean? Yes, I'd like to be that person where I could say, nothing controls me, blah blah blah. I know that's part of my personality. I know that right now it's controlled. But carry on. Let's get to the so you're at university and you're there disobeying Allah.
Yeah.
And
head on. I was disobeying Allah. That was my profession. Because of my personality, how I am, when I do something, I'm the best at it.
Right.
That's how I am. When I go all in, I go all in, because I want to be the best at doing that. Anyways, what happens is that, your sins come back to you. How you hurt women come back to you. They say karma's and it came back to me, man. I basically met this chick, may Allah bless her. And the reason I'm saying this is because if it wasn't for her, you wouldn't be talking to me right now. That's not how, like, it was the most, and this is what's interesting. And I want everyone out there listening right now, if you're going through something negative, thank Allah, because one, it's from Allah, and there's a bigger cause behind that. When the Messenger ﷺ was going through, and he had that dream of going for Hajj, right, or for Umrah, and he wanted to go and do that, and he wanted to go to Mecca, and he got all the companions, he got all that sort of stuff, and that's when the Treaty of Hudaybiyah happened. They went back empty-handed. From every perspective, one might think they lost. You get me? You lost that battle. You didn't get to do your pilgrimage. You lost. Okay, that's done. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reveals the verse, Inna fatahna laka fathan mubina. Indeed, we've given you a clear victory. Sometimes out the most negative, the situations that you feel like, quote unquote, you've lost, you've won. But it'll come later. You just gotta be patient. I was with this chick and I thought that she was the girl of my dreams, Ahi. Like, she was it. She completed me. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, she completed me. But there was a problem. And I know a lot of people are going through this right now. The problem was she had a boyfriend. I knew about this boyfriend, but the funny thing was this. I was so confident in myself because I've done this in the past that I'm like, well, he's not going to last, right? Like, it's me. Let's be serious here, right? I was just so...
It's the Spanish guy.
It's this wannabe Spanish Dominican like Nate, you know?
Did you change your name? Or?
No. So, funny thing, right? If people knew me, like they were about it, like they knew me, they knew me as Jay. Because my last name, I'm named after my father, and my last name has a junior at the end of it, right? So I never let anyone call me junior because it makes me feel small. Only my family would call me JR because that's my mom calls me. My sister calls me that, and Jay was like the name everyone else would call me. It sounded it had way more, street cred.
Yeah.
Calling me Jay.
Jay.
I'm personally confident with my name now. It's not like that, but I go by SQ because that's what all my kids call me. That's what everyone, and it's become who I am. So it's just SQ.
Your kids call you SQ?
Oh yeah, Mr. SQ. It's my thing. SQ.
Oh no, your
No, not my children. When I say kids, by the way, my students are my children.
Okay.
Bro. Like, I love them. They're my children. They're my children, bro.
Okay.
Like, I love them. Anyways, like, I go on from that, and I'm like, that's not a problem. You see who you're with. You see who you're with right now. You're gonna be dead in that guy in no time, right? So I'm with her, but the more I'm with her, the more I'm getting sprung. I'm more caught up on that, and by the way. This is an exclusive. I've never shared this story with anyone.
Wow.
I've never shared this. Wallahi, I've shared it like people who know me know me.
Please
like,
tell me your family has heard this story.
No, Mom, I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
I don't know. My mom doesn't
no.
follow me. No, actually, my mom does follow me. I follow her back too, Mom. I love you, Mom. But I haven't shared this because people always ask me, how'd you turn to Islam? And I'm like, it's such a long story that I'm not gonna make a story of this. But I figured that I'd make this on YouTube or something. But I feel happy that you're getting that because I feel like this is when you come to Freshly Grounded, you've made it. I haven't made it. I'm just joking with you, but like Freshly Grounded has like always been a dream for me, bro. Like I see this, it looks so cool. Like
it's been a dream for me, bro.
The Freshly Grounded coffee cup.
It's been a dream for me.
You got Nate in the background watering the plants. Like it's a dream, bro. This is how it is, And
bro, listen. You're gonna go back with a Freshly Grounded mug. Remind me at the end because I also said that to someone, I can't remember who, and then I didn't end up giving it. A few episodes, Jibril. So remember, I'll take one off me.
I'll remember. Inshallah. I remember.
Oh, because the Hamza Zotis. I know you want. Oh, pass it, bro. I'll delete some stuff because the
You
Hamza
already
Zotis
put it on the computer.
Yeah.
We're paused right now.
We are. Well, we'll still carry on talking on audio. Yeah, it's all going on there. We'll talk on the audio. For those of you watching us on YouTube and you can't actually see us, it's because I've been. Oh, is it? Oh,
yeah. The live stream on Twitch is still going.
How are you?
Oh, damn.
Are you doing a live stream on Twitch and recording?
He just did that right now.
Bro, he's live streaming.
He just did that right now. So
Okay.
he's like recording on that. Anyways, we'll continue, inshallah. So anyways, right? What were we talking about? Oh, something about me turning back to Islam. All right. So basically, right? I was basically head over heels to this.
Yeah, you got
over this chick.
sprung.
I was sprung on
Sprung.
this chick, bro. And I basically became a person that I never knew I was. I was so needy. Oh my God, that's like the worst thing you could ever be. Because that used to be such a turnoff for me. Like if someone was needy and like always on me, like I was like, oh, get away from me, you know? I became that person because I was so in love. What I believe was love, I definitely was not. Now that I, retrospect, I love my wife. That's who I love. I love my daughters, bro. Like my daughter. Like trust me, bro. You have children yet?
No.
No. Are you expecting anytime soon?
No.
He's about to. Are we gonna? He's
Make that happen.
Is that something you're trying to do though? It's trying to have children.
Inshallah, when Allah wills it.
When I was, that's a PC answer. He's not telling us something. All right. Anyways, so basically, right. So like that's love, like me loving my daughters, my wife, like that's like it's so transcendent beyond yourself. Anyways, so going to this girl,
So
right?
you thought you was in love?
I thought I was in love. Yeah,
Right.
I obviously thought I was in love, and I definitely was not. And I basically ended it because I could not bear, because I'm always beasting, bro. Like
You ended
when
it?
are you gonna break up? Yeah. It's funny enough because it was like me beasting. When are you gonna break up? When are you gonna break up? When are you gonna leave him? When are you gonna leave? Because she'd be with me, but she'd text him on the low, lying to him. Man, and I'm thinking now, like, yo, how could I be with a girl like that? What happens when one day she's with someone else and she's texting me? If she could do that to that dude, she could do that to me. You get me? So, like, that's a bad quality in a chick. I should not even be going for that. But, like, me being head over heels, you lose all rationale,
Right.
all reason because you're in, quote-unquote, love. And funny thing is, love makes you do all these stupid things that a drug does because it takes out that same type of chemical hormones in your brain, those same types of endorphins. Everything is being pumped on your brain that you're high. And when you're high, you don't know what's right from wrong. You just eat a bunch of stuff. For those of you who get high, don't get high. It's bad for you. Okay. So going back to this, right? So I ended it because I just couldn't stand how I became. I was like, I'm done with this girl. I'm done, And in that time, right? And this is what's going to really resonate, I think, with Nate more than you, because this is where the tattoos and all that sort of comes in, right? So the thing about tattoos, and I don't know if Nate could. Would you
have considered yourself a Muslim at this point?
Oh no, I think that I believed obviously in one God, but I didn't know that there was a religion.
Okay.
I believed in a God. I heard the stories of the messengers, and I believed that. I thought that made sense to me.
Yeah.
Good people coming, delivering a message of God. That makes sense to me. But I never thought there was a religion. Funny enough, I have a tattoo actually that reads right here. It says, it's in mirror reflective writing so that when I look in the mirror, I can read it. It says, my faith doesn't have a church. And the significance behind that was me saying that what I believe in, there's nothing that has boundaries over what I believe in. But that was until I discovered Islam.
Right.
Because my version of Islam was when I'm seeing my mom with like a dupatta on her head.
Yeah.
With shawar kameez, praying randomly here and there and asking me to do namaz. Like, I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
You get me? So, like, that makes me feel like it's culture. And I'm like, I'm not about that. And me, remember from before, if you've been tuning in, I was running away from that culture. So I didn't want nothing to do with that. You get me? So
tattoos resonate with Nate.
Yeah, I think so. Because look, so during this time, right? So when a person gets a fresh haircut, you feel a certain way.
Yeah, you feel fresh.
You feel fresh. It's a fact, right?
True.
And if Hamza Zor says, he would say because you're egotistical. He'd say something crazy, right? Shout out to Hamza Zor says. He'd say something crazy like that because it's true. It's something. It brings something out. It makes you feel more confident. There are some real things about that. Yeah. But the problem with that is it lasts for like 2 days before it starts getting blue again, then 3 days before the hair starts coming back, and then you're back to normal. I'm ready for another one, right? So that freshness decreases, if you understand what I mean. And I think you'd agree to that. That resonates, okay? The thing about a tattoo, bro, is that freshness lasts longer. Here's what I mean. I get a tattoo over here, it's fresh, right? I'm still putting like some ointment, Aquaphor, still fresh, my hair's still shaven, I'm shaving my hair. I don't know if you get what I mean by that, right? Yeah. I'm shaving my hair, so it's still fresh. Whenever I take a photo, and like my arm is somehow showing a little more, like it's on my forearm, I never take a photo, somehow all my photos are like this now, I'm like sitting down like you get what I'm saying? Like they're always out, and I want to tell people want to ask me, bro, oh, that's nice, what does that mean? What's the story behind, people want to know the stories behind your tattoos. You feel important all of a sudden until a month and a half, 2 months. You've told everyone the story. The hair's grown back. You keep shaving it. It's not as colorful as it once was, right? And that's when, people say tattoos are addictive. Why? Bro, it's that importance. It's the feeling of importance. You get what I'm saying with that, Nate, a little, right? Because, it's addictive because I love the art. I love the art. Don't get me wrong. Like when I say
you agree with my guess because it's gonna ruin the whole podcast. Yeah.
Right? If he doesn't, there's a problem.
If you don't agree, this entire hour that we just shot goes down the drain.
No. But like, it's basically, it gives you like, it feels fresh. You get what I'm saying? Like, it makes you feel new, if that makes sense. Like, it makes you feel like there's something new added to me already. And then I just keep getting more and more and more and more. And all these thoughts come in my head. I keep getting more and more and more and more until it just covers my arm. It's like on my arm inside my chest. And I keep doing that. And my turnaround time gets lower and lower. So my first tattoo I got, after a month, I got another one. Then after 3 weeks, I got another one. Then after 2 weeks, I got another one. Then after a week, I got another one. Then after 3 days, I got another one. I was on a roll because remember that addictive personality.
Wow, you really get attached to the idea of something and you just want to go full.
That's me. That's who I am. And I love the art of it. I love the freshness of it. I love the feeling of it. I love when I dress. It looks like, it was all the aesthetics of it because from personally, I feel like I'm very artsy in that direction. I'm not like an artist, but aesthetically. And what happened is that I kept on doing that, and plus it helped me numb the pain of breaking up and not being with that girl who I lost a part of. Like, she was I felt like she completed me. And the worst feeling in the world, Akhi, is to be complete and then have that taken away. Because, okay, if you don't know what it feels like to be complete, you're good. But once you know what it feels like to be complete, and then that gets taken away from you, you realize how empty you've always been. Like, you've been always empty your whole life. And if it sucks. It sucks because you're like, what? This is what I was missing my whole life. I need this back. And bro, I went back to that same lifestyle, those same parties, messing with the same chicks, doing the same tattoos, bro. It just wasn't bringing back because I was depressed, bro. I was literally depressed. I couldn't get out of bed. I'd get out of bed and there'd be this monkey on my shoulders that within 2 minutes of me being up, I'd think about this girl. And my day would be surrounded around thinking about this girl. I joined the gym because I heard that the gym makes you feel better and does this and does that. But yeah, in the gym, my mind might be off of her, but doing the reps and
for
waiting
like
in between
10 minutes,
and that. But then what happens, Akhi, after 45 minutes, okay, I'm not thinking about you. But then when I'm back driving home, I'm walking home, I'm about it again. And I don't know what to do anymore, bro. And I remember literally I'm in my bathtub crying. I'm in a fetal position crying like a baby. And I'm just saying, I'm throwing it out there. If there's anyone listening to me right now, either I'm going to walk out this tub, right? Like either I'm going to kill myself right now. Straight up. I was like, I'm doing this because I don't believe, I'm so logical that I'm like, why am I feeling this way? If this is it, I'm going to kill myself right now, or I'm going to get out this bathroom, get out this tub and get my life together. I'm going to figure this out. And clearly I did the second option. You know, I'm here, unless you're speaking to a jinn, you know, like I'm here and I get out, bro. And that's when things started falling in line with me. And I didn't realize that I made a dua. That was a dua to Allah. I didn't realize that. I just said it, you know. I just, you know, as they say, you speak it into existence, you know, that hippie secret stuff, which is so not cool, but whatever. You know, and I was reading a lot of The Secret at that time too. Positive affirmation, all that. Like I was reading all that sort of junk. But basically my mom was going to Pakistan and I told her, you know what? I want to go with you. I want to go over there. And it happened to fall during Ramadan.
Why did you want to go with her?
Because I had went a couple of months back and I felt really at peace in Pakistan because there was nothing to do and you'd be at home because it's really, really hot. And I just felt at peace in Pakistan. Plus I was really distracted, I guess. But I go to Pakistan and just so you know about me, like, you know, I was still a Muslim by name. So for example, by like culture association, because I would still fast in Ramadan, but I would never pray. I'd never read the Quran. I never prayed. I never did things like that. So when it was time for me to go to Pakistan, I was there and I was there for 2 months. Ramadan fell during that time. And I remember my mom would always say to me that, you know, there's no point of you starving yourself if you're not praying. Like, there's no point of that. Like, pray, try something out. And at that time, I was going through this spiritual journey. And, you know, I got stuff from the Gita. I got stuff in Hebrew. I got stuff, bro, because I was studying different things and I was just so interested. And I started reading different scripts. I started reading the path for like Buddha. I started reading things from the Gita.
Did you tell Yusha Evans' story when you met him?
No, not really. We didn't get a chance. I didn't want to talk about myself because it was about him. When I met Yusha Evans, we had a coffee, and I wanted to learn more about him because, you know, I don't want you. I'm a nobody. I'm here for you, Yusha. So, you know, shout out to Yusha out there. But, you know, I didn't tell him this, but I was searching for something. You know, I was clearly searching for something, and I read the Gita. I was reading all these sort of things, but though I agreed with it, there was always something that I'm like, it doesn't. And plus, I was still being depressed about this girl. I was still thinking about this chick, but I was developing enough willpower to be like, I don't care. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I was reading everything. I was reading the Old Testament, and that just didn't sit well with me. It just felt like the way it portrayed God was just in this sadistic way. I didn't like it, you know? I was reading the New Testament. Now I could get down with that, like that love vibe. I could get down with that. But there was always something wrong because I didn't understand, you know, how are you saying that, you know, God came down? Because in American schools, they teach you about Greek mythology. And that sounded like the exact story of Hercules. Okay? He was a demigod. He came down to earth to save humanity, right? He was half man, half God, right? Because, and you know, Zeus would have relations with other human beings also, and he would have half God, half God. Like, that's what it sounded like to me, because I was very familiar with Greek mythology. So I'm just like, this doesn't make sense. So Ramadan is now, right? And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to give this prayer thing a try. I don't really know what it is. I might know Surah Fatiha, but that's about it, right? And I just knew the motions. I didn't know what you do in tashahhud. I didn't know any of that. I knew what to say in sujood. I know some basics, right? Bro, I did that, and I realized that, like, that's when I stopped thinking about that girl. I picked up the Quran, bro. I literally had the Quran app, right, on my phone for years. I never once opened the Quran app. On my phone. It's your phone. Think about it. Like, you have apps. But bro, this is one app I never used ever. And this is from Allah. You know, like, I never opened that app. It's time for Ramadan. I'm sitting on the prayer rug. It's boiling hot in Pakistan. You know, like, you're not going to get out. The shops are closed because it's Ramadan. You go out in the market in the evening anyways. There's nothing else for me to do but read. So I'm sitting on my prayer mat, bro, and I'm just reading the Quran. 20 minutes in, I'm just like, whoa, hold on a second. I haven't not once thought about this girl. This is amazing. And I'm reading in English because I don't know Arabic at that point, you know? And I'm like, yo, I did not once think about this girl. This is amazing. I literally read the Quran and prayed for the sheer fact that it helped me not think about this chick. Literally, that was the only reason I was reading it. But while I started reading it, I'm just like, yo, this is like crazy stuff I'm reading right now, you know? Because my mom, like, a lot of it resonated with what my mom has told me. But I never believed it because it's my mom, and it's like cold.
Yeah, and it's different. It's different when you find something yourself than to when your mum tells you something, right?
You know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran about how when you ask of Allah, when you seek Allah, Allah is near, right? When you seek Allah, Allah is near. And the one thing interesting is that a lot of our Muslim youth don't seek Allah; they get told about Allah.
Yeah.
You get me? Like, your parents are teaching you, the madrasa, the weekend school, they're teaching you, they're telling you about Allah, but there's no discovery. And being a teacher, I've learned how kids learn. They learn from discovery, from feel, from touch, from experience. I'm not saying to have my experience. I'm telling you to learn from my experience. Don't go on my path, because I know there's some of you who are already on that path. There's some of you who are thinking about going on that path, and there's some of you who are just lost. Right? This story is a story of hope. This is a story of, like, take what you want that resonates with you, leave the rest that doesn't make sense to you. It's pretty much like that. You get me? So, like, Allah is near when you ask about Him. But when you're told about Allah, that's not what works. There's so many people who have knowledge. They know about Allah. They know what's haram. But, akhi, just because you know something's haram doesn't mean you care that it's haram. And that's something interesting that you like. That's going to be my, Instagram 1 minute snippet clip of this promotion for you. Like, bro, like, you don't care it's haram. Yeah, I know drinking, but my boys are doing it. Like, and the thing you said is profound. You said that sometimes you need to learn it yourself, because then I'm reading verses about how on the day of judgment, your skin is going to testify, your eyes are going to testify that you knew this. Your mouth will be silent. You knew this. So I'm here thinking that, wow, like, how long can I lie to myself? Okay, before I blame my mom, think, maybe my mom doesn't know what she's talking about. But now I'm saying, bro, I've read this myself. How am I going to, because I already believed in God, like, how am I going to answer God? Bro, I just kept on reading. And eventually I stumbled upon something. And bro, by the way, my reading consists of this. I'd read a few verses, then literally my phone would go blank because, the screensaver would come up. Like, it would just, like, shut off, because I'm just sitting there thinking about what I just read. And I'm not thinking about this girl anymore. I'm not reading for that purpose anymore. I'm reading for the sure fact that I'm enjoying what I'm reading. And I've never felt this way. So check this out. I come across the verse that indeed in the remembrance of Allah do hearts truly find ease. And I'm like, yo, that is the truth. I literally, bro, I had to put my phone away because I'm like, yo, it gave me goosebumps. I was just like, how did it know that? And this is similar. You get me? Like, how did it know that about me? Like, how did it know that? That my understanding was this, right? Because I approached it as in, it's a book by man. That was my thing. A man wrote it. Like, what do you mean God wrote it? You mean God came down? Like, I didn't understand the concept at that time. Man wrote it. And I'm just saying to you right now, at this point, I'm like, there's no way a man could have known this. There's no way. There's no way. It's inspired by a higher being given to a man. And that man is the Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. You know, we know that now. But I'm just like, there's no way that if there's a God, this book belongs to him. Because there was obviously a lot of traits in the previous scriptures, even in the Gita, even in all these things. You know, you could go to more knowledgeable people like Dr. Zakir Naik, where they do all that sort of stuff. But there's always traces of similarity because the author was always the same. But the corruption from the people and their inability to archive data was there. So they couldn't withstand the history being lost. At the time, now, 1,400 years ago, bro, it's more modern. People are writing things down now. It's different. It's a different time compared to, 600 years prior to that, at the time of Isa alayhi salam, compared to 3,000 years prior to that with Musa alayhi salam, compared to maybe 5,000 years behind that before Ibrahim alayhi salam. You get me? Like, archiving data is different. Once upon a time, they used to draw in caves. Now they were writing on parchment. Bro, this is advanced technology right now. Anyway, and their memory was there. So, bro, when I read that, I'm just like, yo, I gotta put this aside. Then, obviously, I started getting addicted to reading the Quran because that's who I am. And now it was time for me to go back to Pakistan.
Back to USA.
Back to USA, from Pakistan to New York. And my biggest fear was like, man, Allah, now that I found you, don't leave me, Allah. Like, bro, that gets me emotional. Till this day, I'm like, Allah, don't leave me. Because I felt, bro, for so long that Allah had left me. And it wasn't Allah who left me. I had left Allah. Wallahi, bro, I left Allah and I was basically a kid in the mall, bro. Like, if this ever happened to you where you don't know where your mom went, or you're in a shopping center and your mom just like, you turn around, your mom is not there. That's how I felt my whole life. It wasn't until I read this book that I realized that, bro, I felt like I was in this world all by myself. And it wasn't until Allah, I found this book, I found this deen, I was like, I'm not alone, bro. There's someone there for me. And he made sure that all this happened, all this craziness happened just so I can meet him now. No other time. No, this was the moment. Every moment is calculated by Allah, bro. It's precision. The earth, the orbit, a distance, the speed of its orbit, bro. It's precise. The moment of this conversation, precise. Conception of your birth, precise. Bro, people get miscarried. We weren't. Alhamdulillah. We could have been a miscarriage. It would never be us. Bro, I felt like I finally I found that parent. I found that, that guidance. I found it. I was alone and I never knew I was alone until I read this book that, man, I've been alone my whole life. What's happened to me? And bro, when I went back, I was just like, Allah, please, 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 please. Because I know my lifestyle, bro. When I go back, they don't know this is happening to me. I'm still experiencing this. They still remember me as, JR, Jay, they lit. Bro, the party didn't start until I got there. I'm serious. They see me coming through with the bottles. They knew, oh, it's about to get lit. Oh, Jay's there, blah, 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 blah. I'm just like, how do I go back and break that persona? So many of our youth want to turn to Allah. Maybe they have turned to Allah, but their biggest problem is, how do they go back to their friends and tell them this? How do I do that? I go back and I get back and people want to see me. I've been gone for 2 months. They're like, yo, Jay, we got a link. I'm going to take you out to dinner. Let's go to dinner. Let's go to the bar. Let's go to there. Let's go. Bro, what happens? I go back and I'm just like,
you're not on it.
I'm not. And I can't tell them that because that's kind of corny. Like, I found God. How do you tell someone that?
Yeah, especially people that, you've spent your whole life trying to, I suppose, impress and show that you are cool, I suppose.
I'm like, how do I do that? So what happened was, I promised Allah some things that, listen, I'm never going to drink. I'm not going to do these things. Because I'm reading it's wrong.
You made that promise Pakistan?
Yeah, I made that promise. I'm like, I'm not going to do that. So I went out with these people and literally, bro, it was a facade. I'd go there and like, I would either pass the alcohol, like, I'm not feeling well, or I'd act like a drink and I'd just toss it over. I'm serious. I just toss it over. Allah, yeah, I'd do that because I didn't have an identity yet. What gave him my importance was the fact that they knew me like that. And, bro, I'd go to these bars and I'd basically be the designated driver. literally, I was the one who didn't drink. I'd act like I have a drink. I'd have like something colorful.
So they didn't know at the time.
They didn't know. Except one of my best friends, Jonathan. He knew.
Jay.
And Jay. He knew, right? And bro, it's literally, I'd meet any girl I'd meet. I'd be talking about religion. I'd be talking about Islam. I'd be talking about Allah in a bar, bro.
Well, and they could tell.
In a bar. And I'd do this every single time. And they found me to be the most interesting person ever. And I remember once I'm standing outside of a bar because somehow those conversations always took me out the bar. And obviously it's a blessed conversation. It can't be in haram. I'm sitting out there, bro. And they're literally this one girl I remember. I don't even know where they are in life right now. They don't know what impact they had on me, right? And this is how you just don't know what impact they have on me. And literally, I'm having this conversation. She's glued to me. Not because I'm so good looking. I'm not as good looking as you, especially not Nate. Look at Nate, bro. Look at, damn, mashallah.
Bro, you should see the calves.
Body, right? No, but like, the lighting is good, mashallah. But like, I do that, and she's glued to my words and what I'm saying, bro. It's like a revelation to her of what I've learned. And she asked me, she's like, I'm sorry, but what are you doing here? I'm like, what do you mean? She said, what are you doing here right now? If you're saying what you're saying is true, would you believe it? And I believe what you're saying, and I believe that you believe what you're saying. She's like, what are you doing here? And you know what I said to her, bro? I don't know. And that's when everything I knew about myself shattered. And I'm like, you know what? I have to pick my pieces up and I have to recreate who I am. And that came from discovering who I am, realizing that my whole life's been a lie, bro. Who am I? I'm a American, Pakistani American Muslim dude, who loves, his shades, his Jordans, who loves like high luxury brands. That's who I am. I love these things, and I try to be, even when I accepted Islam, and started practicing the deen, I didn't know who I was because I was trying to be like a Yemeni. I was trying to be like a Pakistani. But I never tried to be like myself. I was going towards extremism. I was going towards like, oh, haram, bidah. I was going through that because I thought that was a persona. I never really discovered who I was. And it wasn't until like, I found good company. I got some good Muslim friends who I socialized with, and I realized that, like you gotta show your Islamic personality, and that's pretty much in a nutshell how I came to Islam practically.
What a powerful story.
Yeah, I hope so. Nate, Nate's not impressed. He's not on camera, but he's not impressed.
I've always got one facial expression. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's a good one though.
No, it's beautiful.
You better say so, otherwise we gotta cancel this, bro.
Alhamdulillah.
But that's what it is, man. And I'm so blessed because I always, and I talk about this in my stories, that when we say Alhamdulillah, like when we're talking about Alhamdulillah, we always give gratitude and thanks for all the things that we do have. We also need to give thanks for all the things that we don't have, and we need to give thanks. Yeah, and all the things we don't have, and all the situations that have happened to us, the good and the bad. But bro, Allah loves us so much that there is no bad situation. You need to change that mindset. There is no bad situation. It's how you interpret it, bro. Like when the Messenger ﷺ went to Taif, let's just list things out. He was stoned, he was ridiculed, he was laughed at, he was beaten. And from every perspective, bro, that's an L. That's a loss. But that wasn't a loss at all, was it? We know in the long perspective, it's not. You can't care about losing. You can't be afraid about failure, to fail or to lose, because then you never take risks. And it was a risk that the Messenger ﷺ took to go to Taif, that now we know that place is entirely Muslim. Some of the best, most people who memorize Quran come from Taif now, right? And the Messenger saw the long game. He said when the angel came down to him, I'll crush these dudes right now. Give the word. I'll crush this town. The Messenger said, no way, no, not at all. Because he saw the long game, and that was a test from Allah for him. He saw His mercy. He saw long. He's like, no. Perhaps in the future, there'll be someone who's a Muslim. He believed in that longevity of that message. But what's even more, subhanAllah, bro, what's even more interesting is that he said, as long as this is not a reflection how Allah feels about me, as long as Allah's happy with me, bro, I could be stoned, I could lose my job, I could lose my wealth. As long as that's not a reflection of how Allah loves me, I'm okay. I'm okay with anything. As long as Allah is pleased with me, bro, the people could be displeased with me. But Allah, if you're pleased with me, that's all that matters. And that's all the Messenger ﷺ cared about. Today we live in a society, bro, where the youth only care about like what people think about them. What their parents will even think about them, getting the approval of their parents, will they accept, this person I've chosen to marry? I'm sorry, but not everyone's going to accept them. Not everyone's going to accept the choice of you being a dude who went to uni and opening up an office over here and doing something super creative. People aren't going to accept that. But you shouldn't be seeking people's approval. You shouldn't be seeking people's permission. Your work should give respect. When people are trying to marry someone of their choice and their parents, they're trying to seek the approval of their parents or seek the permission of the parents, you got to understand something. Someone's going to be unhappy. You can't please everyone, bro. That's just the reality. You're not going to please everyone. Either your parents are going to be unhappy, that dude or that girl that you're trying to marry is going to be unhappy because you're not going to be marrying them, or you're going to be unhappy. And I promise you, the last one can't ever happen. Never ever make sure that you're sacrificing for yourself. Never. Make sure you're never sacrificing your happiness. Because if Allah is happy with you, if that's the point, if that's the pinnacle of your happiness, whether people agree with you or not, that's fine. If you've done everything in a halal way, you picked someone who's good for your deen, your dunya, your akhirah, it doesn't matter if they're black. It doesn't matter if they're a revert. So what? Your parents are not going to accept them? Okay. But you accept them. You're not doing anything wrong by that. Yes, you go to your parents in a respectful manner. You convince them. You try 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. But there's going to be a time where you're going to have to ask yourself, is this person worth the squeeze? Is the juice worth the squeeze? Is this person worth me giving up some stuff to be with? And if the answer is yes, then do it. If the answer is I'm not sure, it's probably not for you. They're probably not for you. Because when you have a dream, bro, you're willing to sacrifice everything for that dream. As long as that dream is within the parameters of Allah, His deen, His sunnah of the Messenger ﷺ. As long as that's there, you're doing this. And guess what? You're not seeking the approval of your parents. You're seeking their respect. You're seeking their respect. And if they don't respect your decision in the most beautifulest manner possible, this does not mean you yell at your parents. Let me be clear, because some kids might just go and start, all right, Baba, Mama, I'm doing me. No. In the most respectful of ways, you speak to your parents. You show them love. You bring them value. You do everything. You explain to them your situation. If it's still not working out, you got a choice to make. You got a choice to make. Okay, like, what are you going to do? Are you going to do what's best for you? Or are you going to do something best for them, and you're going to regret it for the rest of your life, okay? And you never want to live with no regret.
Subhanallah. SQ. Before we carry on in this podcast, there's a few.
Wait, there's more?
Yeah.
I thought this was over.
No way.
I don't want it to be over.
But no, it's not over. There's a bunch of stuff.
Be honest with me, bro. Is this better than Hamza's horses? You don't have to.
Bro, you can't ask me questions like that. But it's a powerful podcast, man. There's so much I want to ask you about. I want to ask you about some more videos that went viral. Like, for example, the video of when you got kicked out of the mosque for having tattoos. I want to speak to you about your sunglasses and your hat. Is that something that you have to do? Is that part of your brand, or is it just something that you love, man? But listen, before we go into that, I want to talk a bit about some guys who made this podcast happen, some of our sponsors, and they are Sunnah Box. So can you see SQ, the stuff that we got on the table at the front?
I see it at the front.
Bro, pick it up, have a look.
I can pick it up?
Bro?
Yo, it's so set up. It's so set up.
Pick it up.
I don't want to mess this up, bro. And you have a nice plant. Nate might be upset. Oh, it's tape.
Yeah, Nate had to tape it.
Oh, sorry about that.
I'm sorry, Nate.
Sorry, Nate. Oh, this is fire.
Give me a sec, bro.
Yes, the world needs to be on beard bombs, bro. It's all about, right there too, Nate. There's one more thing. Is that a USB stick? It's a Sunnah box, bro. They give me a USB stick. Come here.
No, it's a comb.
No, so check this out, bro. I don't know if you use bombs. Do you use not like BALM?
Oh, no, I'm joking. Yeah, of course, man. Sorry, bro. I was just trying to get something up, bro. I'm ready. Go on,
No, but I'm saying, like, do you use oils or bombs?
Okay, so I used to use beard balm.
Yeah.
And now I use oil. Mm-hmm. But bro, Muslim box, they've got something for everyone. Don't stress.
No. I personally, bro, I love the bombs.
Okay.
I love bombs, right? Because oil is good for the skin and the growth of the hair, right? But sometimes it doesn't style well, and my hair's a little more coarse. So when I get the bomb, I'm not gonna open this right now, but I get the bomb. Yeah.
Put it in your bro.
I'll be honest with you.
Can we get a little SLR action on the beard?
I'll be honest with you though, bro. Like, you know, like I would prefer if this smelled nicer. It doesn't smell like anything, which is good for some people. But I'd want it to smell like vanilla or something. You get me? Like personally.
So you're not gonna put it in?
I am gonna put it. Hell yeah, I'm gonna put it in. Hold on. But this is how you do. I don't know how you do it, right? And,
You go in a circle motion.
Yeah, is that how you do it? So
Yeah, that's what I do.
yeah. So it's good like that, right? But I just like I do it like slowly like that, and I just carve it away slowly but
Okay.
slowly, right? And I have a really pet peeve about like. You know, like toothpaste. Some people squeeze from the middle at the top.
Yeah.
I don't like that, bro. I like squeezing from the bottom and just working my way up. Even when I eat my plate, so I do this. This is like the SQ tip. This is the SQ tip. You rub it on like that, and you just like rub it down in it, right?
Let me get some.
The thing about the beard balms are, bro, like what I love about them is like they solidify, right? They become like it becomes that, but in your beard, right? But in a nice way. So it gives the shape of the beard. A lot of times people get these straggly bits. And oil won't calm the straggly bits. So you gotta have the balm. You gotta have the balm in the beard, bro, because that's the only way to live. That's the only way to live. So
Okay, so what you got right now, that's the Sunnah box by Muslim Box.
Yeah.
Muslim Box company. It's a contemporary Muslim brand offering quality gift boxes designed specifically for the Muslim in mind, whatever the occasion. The Prophet ﷺ said, "Give gifts and you will love one another." Make someone's day and make someone smile with a gift for Muslim Box. The web address is www.muslimbox.co. That's muslimbox.co. And bro, Eid is coming up.
Yo.
And this is a perfect gift.
100%.
So what you got in your hand right now, this is a Sunnah Box by Muslim Box company, And there's a lot of copycat companies, but I'm not gonna lie. But Sunnah Box is someone who I've seen for a long time. A couple of years ago, they showed me some love, and I looked at the products, bro. So in the Sunnah Box, you got the beard balm, you got the miswak holder,
Yeah.
you got
Okay, by the way, must.
a must. Keep it fresh.
I love miswak, by the way, but my problem with miswak is, and this is probably the world's problem, is that miswaks always get lost. When was the last time you ever finished a miswak? Right? Either it gets lost or it becomes stinky, and you're not gonna have that in your pocket because it's gonna stain your clothes. So this is a must. This is a must.
Bro, and then what else have they got in there? They've got the
What's this?
they've got the miswak holder, they've got a comb, that's beard comb.
What's that? It looks like some blade or something.
It's a comb, it's a comb.
Oh, it's a comb?
Let me see.
It looks like a, yeah. It looks
No,
like
that's
it
a comb.
opens.
That's a comb, and this is another comb. So they've got two combs,
Oh.
and then you got this in it as well,
Yeah.
which is
Fire, though.
so this is a perfect gift
You know
box.
what I love as the aesthetic? I love the box.
Yeah, the box is lovely.
I just love the setting of it.
Look at this,
It's fire.
bro. Look inside. You get inside
Looks
this
like I'm in a
bag.
barn, though, like
You got a
it's
bit of black seed oil.
Ah.
Moose is downstairs.
You got some beard oil. What is it?
The beard oil, and this is for what? For the black seed oil is for what exactly?
Black seed oil. Well, there's a narration.
I know,
hadith.
but I'm like, are you supposed to like intake
Would you like?
I'm about to pop
You
it.
can
I
drink
pop this
it,
open?
bro. You pop it open, but bro, it's harsh if you're not used to it. Are you used to the
Alright.
taste?
Well, we're about to find out, aren't
Oh,
we?
yo, I'm gonna have to do
live
this
on
up.
this podcast. If you hear me cough, you know what it is. I'm gonna fill this up.
Bro, it's strong, you know. And there's some perfume here. Let me smell the perfume.
Wait, is this like blocked? Oh yeah, sorry guys, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, it's covered. Thank you, Sunnah Box. This is nice, man. I like the aesthetic of this. The box is nice. It looks like some oak wood. Strong.
I want to smell this perfume. Oh, this perfume smells good.
I need a straw. No, I'm joking.
Have you drunk it?
No, I haven't. I've never done this before.
Have you never drunk it before?
No.
Oh, bro,
you
it's
guys are
strong,
hearing
you
it
know.
right now.
It's
You guys
strong,
are getting
bro.
this.
Bro, you
Yes.
don't know what you're about to. Bro, I have to have mine with honey. Woo!
All right.
Let's go.
Bismillah.
Bismillah.
Woo! Not gonna lie. Oh!
That's good for you though. Bro, you went there. Okay, well, let's go through a few more other things that you get from Muslim Box Company. So that's muslimbox.co. Guys, if you use the code word freshly grounded, you get 20% off. Normally, they do only 10% off, but I spoke to the guy. I said, bro, listen, this is F.G. These are my people. He's coming up. And so if you use the code word freshly grounded, you get 20% off, guys. Get 8 gifts. Also, they've got this specialist beard oil. It's called the Prime Beard Oil that they have. I want to smell it, actually.
Let me
The smell means a lot.
Where's that perfume you said you had?
What? Yo, this beard oil smells nice.
Let me see that.
Yo, that smells nice. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. And you see, that's what I would want, like, in the balm.
In the balm.
Yeah, that's what I was
Bro,
looking for in the
we'll
balm.
tell them. We'll tell them.
Yo, you're
Right.
hearing us right now, Sunnah Box.
And
Put that scent in there.
lastly,
Oh, this is nice.
another thing I've got is the. Look at this watch.
Oh, I love that. I've been seeing that on Instagram.
I
bro.
love it too. I
I've
don't know if you
seen
can
that
get close up
Instagram.
on it.
I'm actually
but,
a big fan on Instagram. I mean, I'm a big fan of watches, actually. Yo, that black seed oil is no joke. I'm just letting you know right now. You know this, obviously. But, damn, that black seed oil is no joke. Okay, so one more thing. If I can make a suggestion,
Okay, so hold on.
box,
Let me just say this about that watch.
Yeah.
That watch is an Arabic. It's got an Arabic numeral watch. So it's got like the numbers 1 to 12, but in Arabic.
Yeah. So one thing about Sunderbox, and this is a personally thing, being a beard, obviously, I know how to take care of the beard. I know how to take care of the beard. One thing I wish they would have is a brush. I'm a big fan of a brush, not a
comb. Okay.
I'm just not a fan of a comb because my beard is a little more coarse.
Right.
It's just a little more coarse, right? So I don't know. That's just me. But I would always try the comb out. Just do that. But what's the scent one that's happening?
The scent one.
Yeah,
this.
You said it's perfume.
Yeah,
Is that
perfume.
right? Let me try this.
But the thing is, we have to display this all back because we got to have it like showing my camera. So.
Oh, this is nice.
You like it?
It's gentle.
Yeah.
This is nice. Oh, damn. Yeah. Take that from me. Let me set this up. Yeah, man. Maybe Nate needs to do the setup because he was nice with that.
Nate had it all set up, so I'm gonna wait for him to come back and then he can set up. But bro, once we're done with this episode, that box is yours, bro.
Oh yeah,
that box is yours, bro.
I appreciate that.
So,
and you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do a giveaway on my own Insta for that.
Inshallah.
I want someone else to have that because that's
Inshallah.
really, really dope. Hopefully, obviously, brothers only should apply for this because it's a bunch of beard oils.
Well, a sister can get it for her husband.
No, for sure.
Nate, I'm so sorry, but can we set this back up how perfectly you did it before? Sorry. I
gotta chase down this black seed oil, bro. This was crazy. I did not know what I was getting myself into.
Bro, black seed oil is good for you, though.
It's nice.
Okay, bro. So let's get back into the conversation.
Okay.
You had a video recently that came out.
Yeah.
Where you were visibly very, very upset because you had. You tell me the story because the video is basically. You tell me the story. You know what video I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Tell me the story.
So basically, what the video doesn't show is the 5 to 7 minutes that happened prior to that.
Right.
Because here's the thing, right? Me personally, I'm a very but if you see that video, you would never believe me. But I'm a very patient and gentle, kind person, right? But in that video, you would be like, "These guys chatting," he's not telling the truth. But what this video doesn't show is that 5 to 7 minutes prior to that, what was happening. Right, so I would make for those of you who follow me, or for those of you who are going to start following me, thanks to the plug that I'm gonna get somewhere here, and my stuff is gonna be written somewhere here, and the post edit, the post production,
maybe,
inshallah, maybe. So I would record my Instagram story reminders that I would do, and I would record them on the terrace of that masjid that was inside.
Oh, so that's a regular masjid that you go to?
Yeah. It's not my community masjid that they know me at. They just know I'm a dude that goes there.
Okay.
It's like not a community center where there's a lot of, a brotherhood, bondage. There's like, they pray and dip. Like that's one of those masjids, right? So I'd always go over there and just do my thing. And do my reminders, but the imam of the masjid who knows I do that had traveled to Pakistan, so there was other people who were in charge of that, but they didn't know I did that. So when they saw me, they hear me on the terrace giving all these reminders and saying something, they immediately get upset and they pull me down. Now look, that's their right. Please do so. Obviously in a nicer way, but whatever. I respected it. He's an uncle. I'm like, uncle, no problem. He's Asian, so I speak a little Asian as well too. Uncle.
Speak a little Asian.
I
to speak a little Asian.
And I'm doing that, and I said, uncle, I just want to tell you what I was doing. I explained to him in Urdu, like, this is what I was doing. I make these reminders, but like, you can't really explain to a 70-year-old man, 60-year-old man what Instagram is.
Right.
They don't really know what that is.
I'm trying to put in my story.
Yeah, they don't really know what that is. A story. What is that, right? So the first thing that he was telling me was that you're up there on the roof, like on the terrace, trying to holler at girls. That was his first thing he says about me, right? So obviously I caught offense, but I'm just like, no, it's not like that, because I know in Pakistani culture, if the guys go on the chat, if you know anything,
the roof,
I don't know what part of Pakistan you're from, by the way.
He
doesn't want to tell us.
I just don't know how to say, because it's like a little village just outside of a place called Jillam. but it's a village just outside.
So it's like by Jalem, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's I don't know if you know this, but there is definitely a stereotype, and there's an actual thing where the young men go on the roofs and they go and check out girls, and they check out other girls who come, and usually that's how they communicate and things like that, right? So he comes from that old school mindset where he believes that that's what's happening. But I'm like, Uncle, I'm telling you that's not happening. Look, I'll get off, but let me just explain what I'm doing. I make these reminders and everything, and I try to motivate and teach people to come back to Islam and like to do that sort of stuff. And he does one of those who you like? What are you gonna teach? Like he has like a dig at me. He's like, what are you gonna teach someone? I'm like, Uncle, it's not. But
so at this point, you're still calm.
Yeah. I'm just like, Uncle, it's not like that. Like I'm touching Uncle, it's not like that. Inshallah, it's fine. Like I'm like rubbing him, like I'm breaking that physical barrier. I'm like touching my Uncle, like it's fine. It's actually not for someone like yourself because there's more knowledgeable people to do that. But it's for like youngsters, it's like someone's 16, 17. It's for them. It's to actually bring them to the masjid and all that sort of stuff. But he was under the same thing. He's like, okay, it doesn't matter. You gotta go. And now he's like trying to say you gotta leave. But I'm like, I don't have to leave. Like I could just chill in the masjid. And if I wanted to record, I could record in the masjid. Like, what are you gonna tell me? But I'm just like, Uncle, like he's telling me to leave, and I'm the type of dude, bro. Like I want like everyone to love me. It's weird. Like I want. As much as I don't care how you think about me, I equally care how you think about me, if that makes sense. Like, if I've done my
it makes
best,
a lot of sense.
like if I've done my absolute best to leave a good impression and be kind to and all that stuff, if you still don't do anything like that, that's between you and Allah. But I know I've done that.
Right.
I'm not the type of dude to say, forgive me if I've wronged you, inshallah, like, I'm not that dude. I'm very confident in myself. Like, look, man, I've been respectful to you as a man, as a brother. If you don't, reciprocate that, that's on you. That's okay. Yallah, we all go in our own ways. So he's doing that, and he just keeps on telling me, he's like, no, you go. And then he's basically saying, who are you going to teach? Look at you. Who are you going to teach? I say, like, and I repeat, Uncle, it's not for you. I understand your generation. It's for the youngsters, whatever. Okay, no, I don't care. That's what he's saying. He's saying that in English. I don't care. I'm like, okay, that's fine, Uncle, but I just wanted to explain what was happening. The other imam, he would let me do this. You just, no, you have to have it in writing that you're doing this. I said, well, he never gave me that, but if you're saying, like, don't make up these rules. Now, like, I'm feeling a little, like, don't make up rules. Don't try to, like, sun me right now. Like, that's how he's saying, like, don't sun me, like, don't do that to me. Don't, like, chat stuff because you don't have the answer, so you just make things, oh, you can't do that. Like, says who? Like, I remember I was recording. I was doing one of my reminders, because I have like a Ask SQ session where people send in things and, I respond to them with their problems. And I'm in front of like the Freedom Tower, which is the ground zero where, the World Trade Center stuff happened. So I'm in the park and I'm recording. And a guy comes, the security says, you can't do that. Just to stop me, like, you can't do that. And I'm like, why? Everyone else is recording, but they're recording that. What does it make difference over here? And he's like, you're right. And he just left. I'm like, all right. When people don't have the answer to something, they just automatically say you can't do something. Whenever you're trying to achieve something in life because it's never been done, they said, no, you can't. Faisal, you're going to start your own studio? What are you going to do? Social media marketing? Faisal, what are you going to do? Get sponsors from Sunnah Box? Shout out to Sunnah Box and the Roman numeral, watches. What are you doing, Faisal? Like, what are you doing? You could do. What did you study in uni?
Criminology.
Oh, Faisal, look what you wasted your entire time. You could have been, a solicitor. I don't know, whatever you could have been. But, like, and you get this. You probably hear this, but people have to pave their own path. Either way, this happens. And there's another uncle down there now, right? And the other uncle joins in. Now, I thought he's going to be the third party to mediate between us. I'm like, yes, thank you. He comes in and he joins the other uncle's side. And he's just like, what are you doing and this and that? Like, why are you talking? I'm just like, what are you talking about? Like, where's this coming from? And he's just like, astaghfirullah, what is those tattoos? And then he comes out. I'm like, now you're changing the subject. Like, now I'm dealing with this. Now I'm dealing with you. I'm like, what are you going on about right now? And that's when I started getting a little more upset at this point. I said, because he's coming at me, I'm like, Uncle, I didn't see you at Fajr this morning. Where were you? And I had to go at him. Like, I didn't see you at Fajr. That's wrong. I know. I'm not like saying do that. I'm just saying like, like that I did that. I'm saying you're talking all this smack about me right now, Uncle. You're talking. This one's trying to kick me out. This one is over here just saying, astaghfirullah, how are you in the house of Allah? This and that. He's saying these things. But I'm like, but Uncle, I didn't see you at Fajr this morning. What happened? where were you? I don't see you, so don't talk right now. And I go back to you. So I go back to the other uncle, and the other one is just like, listen, because now, bro, now it's been going on for some time, and I'm like,
you're emotional, you're getting angry.
Now I'm getting defensive, like you're against the wall.
And I'm not condoning, by laughing at it, we're not condoning that you should, obviously, you should listen to other people. But I get where you're coming. You're now getting emotional, right?
Everyone has a breaking point, you know, and it doesn't matter how spiritual.
So then what happens?
No, bro, it doesn't matter how spiritual or anything you are, bro. Eventually, you know, you're gonna forget. I'm gonna forget all that and remember something that I'm a dude from the Bronx. Like I'm a dude from the Bronx. Like that's gonna come out eventually down the line. And it took a lot for it to come out, but it came out towards the end. But even then I was holding myself back because I was so emotional and I was so upset. Anyways, so I was just like, the uncle saying, you're not a Muslim. He started saying this now at this point. He's just like, oh, you're not a Muslim, because the other guy was pointing out the tattoos. And he's just like, oh, you know, what kind of Muslim are you? You're not a Muslim. You're not a Muslim. Like, I'm a spy or something like that. Seriously. Because in America, we have this thing where there's a lot of people who come from the FBI and all that sort of stuff, and they pose as Muslims just so they could get intel inside masjids. This is a real thing, by the way. They do. I don't know if they do that here, but that's a real thing they do in America, in the States. So he's trying to claim out like I'm someone like that, because that's what the connotation was. It's not me assuming, like not assuming the best of him. He was headed in that direction. This is literally what he was thinking. So I'm saying, Uncle, how are you going to say that about me? How are you saying I'm not a Muslim? At this point, I'm upset. Like, but I'm like upset where I'm disappointed. Not like upset like I'm furious. I'm upset like I'm disappointed. Like, Uncle, how are you going to say that to me, man? Like, I pray behind you. You see me for all my 5 prayers in here, man. I said, Uncle, how are you saying that about me, man? I said, I prayed shoulder to shoulder with you. How are you going to say that about me? Yeah. Oh, then, you know, he's like, oh, yeah, I've seen how you pray. Yo, he hits me with one of those. At this point, I'm like, yo. Now, he's hitting me up. The main guy's hitting me up. Now, a third man comes from the left and says, you need to go. To me. And I'm like, yo, that's not fair. That's not fair. Like, where's my protection?
Yeah, you don't know the story. Yeah.
Me, you don't even know. Y'all coming out from like left, from the woodworks over here, from left field, and now you want to like come and tell me. So I go, and at this point, they're literally now physically pushing me out the machine. So now, like, this is what you don't see, and this is when I take out my Snapchat, and subhanAllah, this is exactly the time when Snapchat allowed 1 minute recordings. Before it was only like 10 seconds, remember? And you'd have to stop every 10 seconds. Once upon a time. Now they've allowed 1 minute recordings. So I record for that 1 minute. I'm just like, and I'm not even thinking. I'm just like, and I'm just like shooting everything that's happened, and I'm off right now. And if they were any younger, man, I probably would have swung at him. Like, it got bad at this point. I'm not condoning. It was wrong. I completely disagree with how I behave. 100%. It's the house of Allah. You don't behave that way. But everyone has a breaking point.
Right.
You get me? Everyone has a breaking point, and you can't expect a person to not like show what he knows, man. Like, at the end of the day, you're gonna revert back to what you know, and that's me being a tough person when my back's against the wall. I'm gonna have to put away some of that Islam stuff, and I'm gonna have to tell you that I'm a dude from the Bronx who was raised over there, and I'm from there. So I'm not gonna just be a pushover. So that was basically what happened with that video, and shout out to Ali Dawa and brother Muhammad Hijab for reacting to that.
How did they react to it?
I think they reacted the same way I reacted. And by the way, the reason I posted that was to show my own flaws. And it wasn't to show you my shortcomings. It was to show you that everyone has limits. Don't push people to the limits. So, parents, don't push your children to limits. Children, don't push your parents to the limits. And it was trying to show you that there's things that are wrong with me. Don't ever, because social media is a highlight reel, Akhi. Social media is a highlight reel. You only post what you want the world to see. And I don't want that. I want you to see the raw reality of who SQ is. This is who I am. I'm not the best to my mother, and I'm trying to get better. I'm not the best husband, and I'm trying to get better. I'm not the best father. I'm trying to get better. But if I'm not speaking my truth, how am I going to relate to people? If I come off as this dude that, is clean, I'd be lying to you. I think that one of the reasons people appreciate it because it's raw. Again, but I acknowledge my own shortcomings, and it's not me. When I'm telling you about like these girls and all that sort of stuff, the Messenger ﷺ has taught us to, not spread your things, but that's not what I'm doing. It's a relation to you that like I vibe with you. I get you. Like, I understand what's happening, Akhi. And just know that if I can make it out of this, you're a 20 times better person than I am. You have a better future than I do. You can make it out of it. But if I could save you from that struggle, save you from that pain, bro, I feel like my job well done. You get me? Job well done. If I've saved you from hardship, if I've saved you from going down that negative, wrong path, you know, I've done my part.
I have the video here. I just want you to watch it and like play it because to remind myself of it.
Yeah.
Well, just.
I'm not a Muslim because I have tattoos. What they look like.
Oh my God.
What they look like. It's his face. It's his, get off me. Get off me. It's him. I'm not a Muslim.
Damn. And I didn't say a curse at that point. I just didn't have any words. I was like, shit. I didn't know what else to say.
I'm not a Muslim because I have tattoos. Wallahi. In my own community.
And you know, there's so many reverts who go through this, bro.
Because I have
Like,
tattoos.
subhanallah.
Fear Allah. Fear Allah. Fear Allah. I'm not a Muslim because I have tattoos.
I'm making that point
Look how
known.
jahil this
I don't
person
agree with
is.
saying that. You know, I don't agree with that.
But you can see, but you know what? You can tell that you're not that you're speaking from emotion, and
Yeah.
you can tell that you're clearly upset because, bro, you're even you're crying during the video.
Yeah.
So you can tell that like it's hit you hard, and
I am. It really
you know,
hurt me, man. It really
yeah,
hurt me,
man.
And
And
like
may
I said,
Allah forgive
you
them. May
live
Allah
and
forgive you for
Hey, yo, that was a year
emotional.
ago, by the way.
Oh, for real.
Yeah, it's a year ago, bro. And
But
me
you
and
never
uncle
posted it.
immediately that same day kissed someone on the forehead, hugged him, and I moved on with my life. That's it. Yeah, that's what you're gonna do. I'm not gonna hold a grudge against you because I went from being the one who's wrong to doing the wronging, and
Right.
you don't want to be that.
Right.
You know, I'd want my reward from Allah on the day of judgment, not from you right now. Like I don't
Yeah.
need that from you. You get me? So like, you know, so that's about it. You know, but yeah, that was a year ago in August. So alhamdulillah, I've grown a lot since then. You know, I've learned how to act.
So, bro, what's with the sunglasses?
You know, it's
Is
a
that
part
your
of my
thing? Is
look.
that like
That's
your
my
brand?
look. That's my look, bro. I like it. I just don't wear them at night. I'm not one of those. I used to be one of those. in
But
the
what about
club.
like? But what about like? Do you feel like you're missing out on the brightness of everything right now?
Nah. Like your nude is coming through my glasses, so I'm all right. You know, I get that. But like, nah, bro. This is the look. I like it. And you know what? Subhanallah, my eyes have been so used to glasses that if I take them off and it's too bright, I'd get a headache. I'd get like a migraine. So at this point, my eyes are so used to it. I think that's a really bad thing. But
Did you wear glasses on the Iman channel?
no, because I wore these other glasses that were like fake. they were like eyeglasses, but they had no lenses in them.
Oh.
So yeah, I might wear glasses though. Let's see what happens. I might do it this time around, but it might be glare because of the cameras. I think they use a different type of thing, and they have like this really
bright.
strong lighting that it might not work. So probably not. And plus, you know, when I do my
I don't know if
reminders,
they'd let you either.
yeah, I mean, but you know what it is? I got invited to do a you know, I have to actually contact some of the important people of Iman channel, like Brother Musa, and you know, I gotta hit these people up and see if they allow me to or not. So let's see. You know, may Allah bless them. or
They're very
whatever.
strict with
they're,
me.
they're very strict with them, you know, and you just
I'm
never
not allowed
know.
to wear my hat.
Huh?
I'm
You
not-
no way. Really?
Yeah.
So wait, I wore a hat that day. Does that
Nah,
count?
but your hat was like, it's different, bro. But actually, is it different? Musa's here, by the way. He needs to go here.
we played.
Musa, he wore a hat on his show. I don't know, same show, but I couldn't wear a hat.
Yo, I wore a hat on his show. Faisal flew me in from New York to be on this show.
No.
We're all treating each other incorrectly
He's
over
out,
here.
he's out of memory card. Oh. Huh? Your hat was formal, he's saying.
Okay. And I'll wear kind of, right?
Like, if you wore that snapback, would you get away with that snapback? Nah.
Nah? Damn. That's crazy. But yeah, I probably... Okay,
But also, like,
I'd
I
rather
think on that day I was presenting as well, innit?
yeah.
There's a few things that go into it.
Yeah, no, I think that and that's understandable.
Yeah.
That dress code, you know, thing is there. I get that. But I think the fedora I was wearing is part of a look.
Did you wear
And-
thobe?
I did wear a thobe. I
Did
wore a
you-
thobe
did you
and a
choose to wear a
jean
thobe?
jacket. Yeah, I chose.
But if he wasn't wearing a thobe, would it have been calm?
It would have just been one of them ones, innit? Like,
Yeah,
Like,
you
we were
can.
told
I've not worn a thobe a few times on the Man channel.
I'm wearing my Nike Tech.
So you can wear shirt and trousers.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, I figured.
Really, even on the show that we do. I might come in shirt and trousers like on the next show.
Yeah.
Am I doing any more shows?
We could.
Okay.
About that.
Excuse taking my
Not on
position.
camera right now. A little about that.
I'm still presenting, right?
It's funny because
Oh, this guy's
we
coming
actually
from
do that,
America.
you know, we actually have that same sort of personality.
Yeah.
where we can do that's interesting. But yeah, man. I don't know what we were talking about, but you know, the glasses.
yeah.
I think. And you know what? When I'm doing a lot of stuff because a lot of my stuff is if not everything is not scripted.
Right.
Sometimes when I'm thinking, I look up. I look up, and some people might think that as a lie. There's some people who read body language and say if you look to the right, you're lying. Like, no, I'm thinking on the go, and my mind.
Well, they actually say that if you're looking up, then you're not lying because it shows that you're thinking. That's what they say.
So that's why I'm like, I was looking up, and my eyes are always moving up and down. I'm like, as you look to the left, So no, but like I'm always doing that, and sometimes I look at the camera and I'm looking at how much time is left, and I'm looking at like is it 10 seconds?
Yeah. I mean, I don't look at the lens a lot. I look at the camera, but I think people are used to it.
Yeah. So and the hat, bro. I just love hats, how they look and all that sort of stuff, And
well, you got a nice shaped head, bro. So I do.
I rock a baldy personally. Yeah. I rock a baldy.
Why is it that you go bald?
So besides the genetic aspect of things of losing hair,
same here.
I think besides that,
you're like the USA me.
I am, right? I am, but the less better looking, the less better looking one, But
no, not true.
I think, So I'd say this, right? So when I went to Umrah, right, I thought because that what's dangerous is the transition from hair to bald, right? There's a transition period, and when I went to Umrah, I know I was going to shave my head anyways. So I thought that if it looks good, I'm going to just keep it. The worst thing was, bro, and if anyone who's losing hair out there, anyone watching on the live feed or thing, my bro, anyone out there, it's the worst feeling ever because you look in the mirror and you look at the side of your temples and you look at the top of your head and you notice the scalp and you notice these thinning things.
Bro, I'm relating so much because, I went to Umrah. Look how long ago I went to Umrah, bro.
Your hair is good, bro. You're still good.
It's going back now.
Let me see it.
No, bro, it's the way I got it cut. It's actually up there, but it's the way I got it cut.
Was it always up there or it's been going up there?
It's been going higher.
Yeah, it's been running away from you, bro.
It's running away, bro.
It's where you got to catch it.
Yeah.
You don't want to be there anymore. But you know what it is? Like, I did that, and I naturally had, like, very, thinning, like, type of hair. But I always had hair. But I would see my temples going, then I'd see, like, scalp, and I just felt, bro. And every time someone meets you, they try to mention it, and, like, I don't have a mirror. I know I got a mirror, bro. Like, I know I'm losing hair. And they would always try to make some, and especially the Pakistanis.
So did you shave it yourself?
Oh, now, yeah. Bro, it's the best feeling ever. I feel super liberated. The fact that I'm not a slave to the mirror and combing it a little more hair so that the temple's not missing and getting the brush and all. Like, I feel like I'm not a slave to it anymore. And brother.
How does your wife feel about it?
So that's the thing, right? My wife is my go-to. She's my rock, bro. She's literally my rock. Like literally, I run everything to her. Everything through her. Everything's ran. So like any suggestion, anything I want to do, coming on this show, I run it through her. Everything I run through her. She was just like, I don't know, you're jeopardizing your career.
I mean, things are going so well.
I don't know if you want to do this. You're like, here, you might be plunging. Be ready for that dip. Yeah. So she was like warning me about this guy. And
as you're leaving home today, she's like, no, you really want to go.
But she's like, they are paying you to be here right now, so you gotta come.
That is why you flew out. Okay.
So I run everything to her, and I take her suggestions and her advice very seriously, because it's so funny, because in the Treaty of Hudaybiyah, when that happened, people were, the morale of the people was so down, and the Messenger ﷺ sensed that people were disappointed that they couldn't perform the pilgrimage. So he consulted his wife, and his wife said that go slaughter your animal and shave your head and people will follow suit. And that's exactly what happened. And I think a lot of youth don't know how to consult their wife. They don't know how to incorporate their wife in their decisions to make them feel important. They often don't have that relationship. Like, you think you have a good relationship, that's great, that's perfect, right? But you also need to incorporate as her, she's a decision maker in your life, And the Messenger ﷺ did that very well. He was very good in making them decision makers, empowering them. So think about this. The reason he did all that was because of his wife's suggestion. That's powerful, man. That shows you the importance of listening to your wife. Your wife has wisdom. She brings a perspective that you don't see. So listen, bro. I told my wife that, listen, I'm going to shave my head naturally. I got to shave my head. I said, babe, tell me the truth. If it looks good, tell me the truth. Do I keep it or not? I took that, and she was the first person I saw. My first viral picture was me in front of the Kaaba with my tattoos and my head bald, right? That was my first viral, because shout out to Muslims of the World page. They featured me, the first one. I went, because I know you asked, how did all this social media started? I went to Mecca with the pilgrimage in April 2017 with 42 followers. I come back with 700, and I was just like,
42,000.
SubhanAllah, Allah Akbar, right? That's amazing, Allah Akbar, right? And I'm just like, how did that happen, But that was the first picture or whatever. So I sent that picture to my wife, the first person. I felt like a newborn baby, bro. I was so happy. I said, babe, be honest with me. How does it look? How does it look? Is out. I said, babe, how does it look? She's like, babe, it looks really good. It looks really good. I said, done deal. I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to ask my barber because I always had my barber. Me and my barber had a really good relation. I said, listen, bro, as soon as it's time, tell me. I said, bro, tell me. Whenever you can't mess around with it anymore to hide it, tell me. He said, bro, I got you. He's like, you're still good. You're still good. You're still good. But I came to a point where I'm like,
him?
yeah, I told him. He's like, listen, bro, I'm going to tell you, trust me, I'm not going to let you go like that. Because there's a lot of time barbers don't tell their clients.
Yeah, because obviously they want to stay.
Yeah, you know, but he told me, bro, now I shave it. The only thing I mess around with now is the sideburns. I lower this, tape this down myself. I like yours. I just don't go too low. I like the way yours is. I stop right here. And I just keep it like that. And I use those beard bombs. Shout out to Sunnah Box, huh? And we just brush it down, and that's what it is. But I'm not afraid of the baldness, bro. My kids might tease me about it. I'm not gonna lie, my kids tease me, my students, kids, right? They tease me about it, but I'm always wearing a snapback. It's a part of who I am. It's my look. It's what I like. It's what I enjoy, and
it's who you are.
Yeah, and you know it's funny, you know, and you know Hamza Zorsis would agree to this. You know, a lot of people are ashamed of bald heads, and I just want to say this. This is a public service announcement for all those who are going bald and have bald heads. In this politically correct society, we can never call someone fat. If we call a girl fat or we fat shame, we're body shaming them. Yet we're so inclined to bald shame people.
Yeah.
You get me? Like, we make fun of bald people. They have a tender. You know, we make fun. Like, that's not cool.
Yeah,
that's not cool.
True,
you get
true,
me?
true.
Like, you got to treat people equal. Like, that's not nice. And this is for all my bald brothers, some bald sisters who have alopecia. It's the real thing, you know? But to all of them out there, like, yo, rock it. Just rock the baldy, bro. It's about the confidence. And if you grow the beard out, it looks good. Trust me, it looks good. But if you didn't have a beard, then it all just looks like one thing. You don't want to look one thing. There's a sense of like, but I have not seen my neck or my chin in a long time, so I don't know.
Neither have I. SQ. I just want to say Jazakallah khair for jumping on the podcast. Unfortunately, we've run out of time. It's so sad because we could speak for hours and hours.
Absolutely.
We were meant to go into current events. We didn't get a chance to go to current events, but inshallah, this means you got to come back.
I do.
Because we haven't finished it.
You got to fly me back again, Faisal.
Well, let's, inshallah. Maybe that will happen, inshallah.
Inshallah.
So, akhi, just want to say Jazakallah khair. It'll be amazing, powerful.
Absolutely.
I love you for the sake of Allah.
Absolutely.
Please do come back.
Inshallah.
And I wish we could have gone for longer, but
absolutely.
as is the qadr of Allah.
Absolutely.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. That's powerful.
That's it?
Yeah.
All right.
You got to the intro. So